What's up, everybody? This was kind of an interesting find at a comic shop today. I wasn't expecting to grab this, but I saw it, and I just saw Shadow of the Bat. I remember this series as being like the fourth Batman series back in the early 90s. And you had Batman Detective Comics. They had Legends of the Dark Knight, which kind of started in the late 80s there. And then Shadow of the Bat came out in the early 90s as the fourth title that was ongoing for Batman. And that's too many. Batman just has too many ongoing titles. And then eventually they added Gotham Knights to that. So you're 5 every month. And this is just, they did the same thing with Spider-Man and X-Men. It's just like, man, you made it impossible for me to keep up with all these books on my allowance. And so I didn't. I only bought this basically when there were crossovers back in the day. That you kind of had to have to finish the story. But if you look at the talent on here, Alan Grant, Norm Breyfogle, Tim Sale, this is great Batman stuff. So I always wanted this. This volume is actually out of print and getting a little bit hard to find. So if you can find a copy of this, volume 1, I would pick this up immediately. This is the problem with Batman books these days. DC collected editions really are not on top of keeping their stuff in print. Anyway, my name's John Delarose. If you're new, I am a #1 best-selling comic creator and author. And so if you like my thoughts on comics and all that, please go to my Amazon link in the description below. Support my books. This is what we're doing here, is raising awareness for all that. Huge comic fan just like you, so you know that I'll be creating comics with the care that you would in terms of creating something that does honor towards books of the past and all that. So this is fun stuff. You get into this there's a few storylines in here. The first one is Norm Breyfogle, and so he's a classic Batman artist with some 90s coloring. Yeah, you can take it or leave it for that. But there's this guy, Jeremiah Arkham, and he's taken over the Arkham Asylum, and he's kind of going crazy as there's a bunch of serial killings going on right now, and we learn that Batman is actually kept in Arkham Asylum right now, chained in there, and being abused by the guards. And we learn that, basically Jeremiah is abusing everybody in here. Now, Batman goes through and does his thing, and there's this serial killer guy who you've seen before. His name's like Zaz or something like that. I forget how to pronounce that. But he marks off all of his kills on his body. It's disgusting. And he's in there, and the serial killings are kind of like him. And it's a mystery. Beautiful detective work as to who's actually doing the killings on the outside. All this is going on while they're gaslighting Batman, calling him crazy, trying to break him in Arkham Prison. And I guess the thing of Shadow of the Bat is it really is about showing the influences of the characters around Batman and what happens there, rather than being a direct Batman story compared to the other titles here. But this is a beautiful storyline. Eventually, he's in prison, and he's getting messed with. And it turns out like that the Zaz guy is escaping through these old tunnels in there. And he's going out and doing these serial killings. Now, Batman kind of exposes all that, and Commissioner breaks in. They release Batman. And it turns out his being in there was just a setup so he could get in there and kind of get into their minds. And that was it. You get into a heart-wrenching tale after this, which is a one-shot. And there's this Black Spider character, and he's going around killing heroin addicts because basically his girlfriend or whatnot is dying of heroin, and he just can't deal with it. And so this is written as a letter to Batman through all of this. And he goes in and he blows himself up in order to kill these heroin bosses. It's really tragic. But, 90s dark stuff, you expect that. It's all right. This one is, kind of a cringier one. This is by Dan Jurgens, who I also like on art generally. But this storyline's like about this guy who's, a white supremacist, which is annoying. And he's mad about his daughter dating a Asian guy, so he causes havoc. But turns out the feds are even worse than him, which I guess is kind of like real life. So Batman kind of makes a commentary about how the feds setting all this up and putting people in danger is just really disgusting, and that's about it. So I guess that's right. All right, we get a Tim Sale story, and Tim Sale's one of my favorite Batman artists. He just does beautiful work. As you can see, it just feels really good. There's these characters, and they're all like B-League characters. There's one named Chance, and they get together and they form like a super group in order to like start crimes, thinking that they're gonna take things down together. All these B-tier characters for several issues, that is. And you know, the art's really good. I really enjoy it. It's a fun storyline. Bruce Wayne gets targeted by these people and kidnapped by these people. It's very like there's a 1960s Adam Westy kind of feel to it, because Batman or Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon get put in this like strange contraption with like a vault where they're getting slowly drowned in water rather than them just killing them. Oh man, it's always funny. And Robin rescues them, of course. So you know, they get foiled in their plot and all this. They're trying to use Bruce Wayne for ransom. And eventually, once Batman gets out, he just clobbers all these B-tier people. It's a fun story. I like fun stories. We should have more of that, in my opinion. The Thane of Gotham, another one-shot that's kind of dark. There's this guy who, like, his kids ended up kind of retarded and all that, and so he's, like, trying to, like, poison people and force them to see, like, how bad it is, like, to deal with that. And Batman kind of breaks it up. It's tragic. It's super tragic. And then we get another Tim Sale story. We get another weird character, the Human Flea. Tim Sale really likes doing these oddball ones, I guess. I don't know if he had a choice. But Alan Grant develops this Human Flea character who's like his grandfather runs a flea circus. And the Human Flea's out there trying to like basically save his grandfather from gambling debts and things like that. And eventually these bad guys kind of get involved in this. And they are going to poison the fleas and make them spread disease throughout Gotham. It's kind of a thing you all hear about a lot of the time. And, of course, Batman ends up stopping them with the help of the Human Flea. Fun stuff again. Just a fun, cheesy Batman story. You know, you get this like virus theme quite a bit through Batman stories. You get the Contagion storyline and all that. This kind of a precursor to all that. And it's a 2-issue story, and it's a lot of fun. I love the art by Tim Sale again. You see these like the blade here, like you can feel it coming at you. And that's just like quality comic art right there. Even though look, it's not the most detailed, most like, you know, it's not like a Greg Capullo like, you know, realistic look of whatever. It's just a very simple blade, but the feel of the energy of it coming and like the intensity there, that's comic storytelling, and that's why I like Tim Sale so much. It's good stuff. And that's it. So once he stops him, that is the end of the volume. There's 4 volumes of this currently right now, which of course like does not actually go all the way through Shadow of the Bat. It stops there. And it's sad because DC always does these collected editions like this where they just like do like a third of it and then they just like go, we're canceling this. And then you can't get the rest of the series. And that's, I hope DC eventually fixes that. But for now, unfortunately, they have not. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.